All things unexplained.
So some of that, I think, sir, we'll save for closed session.
But at any rate, for years now, there's been another frightening story, which the general public is also very uninformed about. And it's a story that 60 Minutes, to their credit, has been tracking for quite a while now. And that is the Havana Syndrome. If you're not familiar with Havana Syndrome, it's also known as anomalous health incidents, AHIs. It's a mysterious condition first reported by U.S. diplomats in Cuba in 2016, characterized by sudden, unexplained symptoms like severe headaches, dizziness, tinnitus, cognitive issues, and balance problems, often following unusual sounds or pressure sensations affecting U.S. and Canadian personnel globally, with causes debated, but potentially involving directed energy or environmental factors. Havana Syndrome gets its name from where it first seems to have emerged, and that is in Havana, Cuba, but cases of the syndrome have been reported in numerous countries, including China, Russia, and the United States. There are some theories that suggest some sort of pulsed radio frequency or microwave energy is being used to affect brain function without immediate structural damage, and that is a possible explanation. Now, I've got a couple of clips for you from 2024, so 2 years ago now. This first one is from an FBI agent that describes their experience with Havana Syndrome.
We have important developments in our 5-year investigation of mysterious brain injuries reported by U.S. national security officials. The injured include White House staff, CIA officers, FBI agents, military officers, and their families. Many believe that they were wounded by a secret weapon that fires a high-energy beam of microwaves or ultrasound. This is our 4th story, and for the first time we have evidence of who might be responsible. Most of the injured have fought for America, often in secret, and they're frustrated that the U.S. government publicly doubts that an adversary is targeting Americans. One of them is Carrie. We're disguising her and not using her last name because she's still an FBI agent working in counterintelligence. She says in 2021 she was home in Florida when she was hit by a crippling force.
And bam, inside my right ear, it was like a dentist drilling on steroids. That feeling when it gets too close to your eardrum, it's like that, times 10. It was like a high-pitched metallic drilling noise, and it knocked me forward at like a 45-degree angle this way.
She says she was by a window in her laundry room.
My right ear was line of sight to that window while this thing was happening in my ear. And when I leaned forward, it didn't knock me over, but it knocked me forward. I immediately felt pressure, and pain started coursing from inside my right ear, down my jaw, down my neck, and into my chest.
At the same time, FBI agent Carrie told us the battery in her phone began to swell until it broke the case. Finally, she passed out on a couch. Because of chest pain, she was checked by a cardiologist and then returned to duty.
And I remember complaining to my colleagues for months after that. I felt like I had early Alzheimer's. Short-term memory, long-term memory, confusing memories, multitasking. My baseline changed. I was not the same person.
This next 60 Minutes clip is from Greg Ed Green, who ran the Pentagon's investigation into Havana Syndrome.
Are we being attacked?
My personal opinion, yes.
By whom?
Russia.
Greg Ed Green ran the investigation for the Defense Intelligence Agency. He would not discuss classified information, but he described his team's work from 2021 to 2023.
We were collecting a large body of data ranging from signals intelligence, human intelligence, open source reporting, anything regarding the internet, travel records, financial records, you name it. Unfortunately, I can't get into specifics based on the classification, but I can tell you at a very early stage, I started to focus on Moscow.
Can you tell me about the patterns you began to see?
One of the things I started to notice was the caliber of our officer that was being impacted. This wasn't happening to our worst or our middle range officers. This was happening to our top 5, 10% performing officers across the Defense Intelligence Agency. And consistently, there was a Russia nexus. There was some angle where they had worked against Russia, focused on Russia, and done extremely well.
What has been the impact on American national security?
The impact has been that the intelligence officers and our diplomats working abroad are being removed from their posts with traumatic brain injuries. They're being neutralized.
Okay, that is really frightening stuff right there.